Good morning students. Last week we have learned about organization of tissues. In this chapter we have learned about the different types of plant tissues. First you have learned what are tissues. What are tissues? Tissues are the group of cells that are positioned and designed to perform a particular function. So plant tissues, they are mainly classified into two types. They are meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. First, meristematic tissues. Meristematic tissues consist of immature cells and it is capable of division. So these tissues consist of young cells and it is capable of division. So what are the characteristic features of meristematic tissues? The meristematic tissues are living tissue because it consists of living protoplast in the cells. And the meristematic tissues, the cells are round, oval or polygonal in shape. And it consists of dense cytoplasm, large nucleus and small vacuoles. And these meristematic tissues undergo cell division. And these meristematic tissue do not store any food materials. These are the characteristic features of meristematic tissue that you have learned in the last class. Next one, types of meristematic tissue based on the position. So based on the position, the meristematic tissues are classified into three types. They are apical meristem, intercalary meristem and lateral meristem. What are apical meristem? See, the apical meristem, mainly it is present on the apices of the root and stem where the growth is taken place. So here the stem tip as well as the root tip, it consists of meristematic tissue. That type of meristematic tissues called as apical meristem. What is the function of the apical meristem? It increases the length of the plant part. Second one is intercalary meristem. See, intercalary meristem lies between the permanent tissue. See, mainly it is present in the nodal region. See, what is the function of the intercalary meristem means? It increases the length of the internode. Third one is lateral meristem. What is lateral meristem means? See, this meristem, it is present in the lateral side of the stem. It increases the width of the stem. See, that is lateral meristem. So based on the position, the meristematic tissues can be classified into three types. They are apical meristem, intercalary meristem and lateral meristem. Second one is permanent tissue. What are permanent tissue means? See, these meristematic tissues, after some days, it stops to divide and these cells, it becomes as permanent tissue. See, this permanent tissue consists of mature cells and it is incapable of division. So, permanent tissue consists of mature cells and it is incapable of division. These permanent tissues are mainly classified into two types. They are simple tissues and complex tissues. So what are simple tissues means? Simple tissues consist of homogeneous cells, that is the same kind of cells are present. See, the simple tissues are mainly classified into three types. They are parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. See, parenchyma, the parenchyma tissues are living tissues because it consists of living protoplasm. The cell walls are very thin and it consists of protoplasm. See, these parenchyma, in the aquatic plants, the parenchyma tissues consist of many air spaces, so it is called parenchyma. And the parenchyma tissues, when it is exposed to sunlight, it can develop chloroplast. So that type of parenchyma tissue we can call it as chlorenchyma. So the parenchyma tissue, it is a living tissue. The second one is collenchyma tissue. The collenchyma also a living tissue. It is present just below the epidermal region. So it is present only in the stem portion. It is not present in the root portion. It gives mechanical support to the plant body. And the third one is sclerenchyma. The sclerenchyma are dead tissue because it does not have any protoplasm in the cells. So it is a dead tissue. The sclerenchyma cells, the cell wall is very thick and hard and it consists of lignified cell wall. See, the sclerenchyma has two types. They are sclerids and fibers. The fibers are elongated cells with tapering at both ends and it gives mechanical support, and the sclerids are present all over the plant body. Mainly it is present in the fruits and seeds. The shape of these sclerids are isodermic. It is present in single or in group. See, that are the types of simple tissues we have learned in the last class. Today we are going to learn the next tissue, that is complex tissue. First we can know about what are complex tissue. Complex tissues are made up of more than one cell and work together as a single unit. So what are complex tissue? See, these are made up of more than one cell and work together as a single unit. See, this complex tissue consists of only parenchyma and sclerenchyma tissue. It does not have collenchyma. These complex tissues are mainly classified into two types. They are xylem and phloem. So these two tissues are very important in the plant body. Why means it is a conductive tissue. So what is conductive tissue means? It can transport the materials from one part of the plant body to the another part of the plant body. So first one is xylem. See, it is a conductive tissue. It can conduct water and dissolved materials from the root to aerial parts of the plant body. So we all know the root absorbs the water from the soil and it can reach to the aerial parts of the plant body. So this xylem tissue is only helpful for the conduction of water and dissolved materials from the root to aerial parts of the plant body. Here the conduction, here the transportation is only one direction, that is upward direction. So the movement of water is in unidirectional. It is the movement is unidirectional because it can move from the water that can move from root to the aerial parts of the plant body. Only one direction only it can move. So here the movement is unidirectional. The xylem consists of four types of tissues. They are xylem tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. So xylem consists of four types of tissues. So they are working as a single unit. It consists of four types of tissues. They are xylem tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. The first one is xylem tracheids. The xylem tracheids are dead cell. It consists of dead cell and the cell wall is very thick and lignified. The cells are, both the end of the cells are tapering, blunt and chisel-like. What is the meaning of chisel means? It is a tool to cut the grass. So the xylem in xylem tracheids, the cells are long, tapering at both ends and blunt, and it is looking like chisel-like structure. See the xylem tracheids. See in this cell, it does not have any living protoplast. So here the protoplasm is absent in these cells. So they are dead cells. These are dead cells. Here the empty lumen is present and the tracheids are helpful for transportation of water and dissolved minerals from the root to other parts, and also it is helpful for the mechanical support to the plant body. These are xylem tracheids. Next one is xylem vessel. Here the xylem vessel, see, it can be arranged. See, these are long cylindrical like structure. See, it is arranged one above the another and form a pipeline like structure from the root to aerial parts of the plant body. Towards this xylem vessel, the water and the dissolved minerals can be transported from the root to aerial parts of the plant body. And the walls of the xylem vessels are pitted, they are perforated, the pits are present. Through these pits only the water can transported from one cell to another cell. So the passage cells are present. Through this passage cells the water can move from one cell to another and it can be reached to the aerial parts of the plant body. So it is looking like a water pipeline structure from the root to aerial parts and transport the water and dissolved minerals from the root to aerial parts of the plant body. So this xylem vessel, it helpful for transport the water and dissolved minerals from root to other parts of the plant body, and also it helpful for the mechanical support to the plant body. So these two tissues are helpful for the movement of water from root to other parts of the plant body. Next one is xylem fibers. The xylem fibers, say it is a dead tissue, it is a sclerenchymatous tissue. The fibers are elongated cells and it consists of thick wall and it gives mechanical support to the plant body. The fourth one is xylem parenchyma. It consists of the parenchyma tissue along with the xylem, it is called xylem parenchyma. The xylem parenchyma consists of living protoplasm. So these cells are living cells. Say, what is the function of this xylem parenchyma means it helpful for store the food materials, that is it can store the starch and fatty materials. These are the functions of xylem parenchyma. So xylem is a conductive tissue that can conduct water and dissolved minerals from the root to aerial parts of the plant body. The direction, the movement of water is unidirectional, and xylem consists of four types of tissues. They are xylem tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. So the xylem tracheids and xylem vessels are helpful for the transportation of water from the root to other parts of the plant body. And xylem tracheids, xylem vessels and xylem fibers are dead tissues, and the xylem parenchyma, it is a living tissue because it consists of living protoplasm. Second one is phloem. Phloem, it is also a conductive tissue. It can conduct the food materials from the leaf to other parts of the plant body. That is, the translocation of food is taken place through these phloem tissues. So we all know in plants, the leaves, they can prepare the food by the process of photosynthesis and store the food materials in these cells. These food materials can be transported from the leaf to other parts of the plant body through this phloem tissue. So wherever the food materials necessary, the food materials can be translocated through this phloem tissue. So here the movement of the food materials, it is bidirectional. Why it is bidirectional? Bidirectional means it can move upward or downward movement. So both the direction it can move. So it is, the movement is bidirectional. So the movement of food materials in the phloem tissues are bidirectional. The phloem consists of four types of tissues. They are sieve elements, companion cells, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. So the phloem consists of 4 types of tissues. They are sieve elements, companion cells, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. The first one is sieve elements. It is the very important element present in the phloem. Through sieve elements only the food materials can be transported. The sieve elements consist of the sieve tubes. All the sieve elements together form the sieve tube. It can be arranged one above the another. The sieve elements also arranged one above the another. The cells are arranged one above the another and form a tube-like structure from the leaf to other parts of the plant body. The cell wall is very thick and lignified and it consists of perforated cell walls. The perforated cell walls are called sieve plates. The perforated cell walls are called sieve plates. Through this only the food materials can be transported from one cell to another cell. So it comes in the sieve elements. Here the living protoplast are absent. It is devoid of protoplast. The lumen is narrow and so through this lumen the water can be stored and it can be transported to the other cell through these sieve plates. These sieve elements helpful for the transportation of food materials and also it helpful for the mechanical support of the plant part. So the important element present in the phloem is sieve elements. Through these sieve elements only the food materials can be transported from the leaf to other parts of the plant body. The second one is companion cells. These companion cells are elongated cells and it is located at the lateral side of the sieve elements. It is located at the lateral side of the sieve element. This is sieve element. At the lateral side the companion cells are present. Along the length of this sieve elements, the companion elements also accompany and they can, along with the sieve elements, the companion cells also work together. So the companion cells are elongated cell. It also a dead tissue. It consists of thick walled and lignified wall. It can be placed at the lateral side of the sieve elements. These companion cells are placed along the length of the sieve elements and it can accommodate with the sieve elements and work their function. So that is companion cell. Next one is phloem fibers. The phloem fibers, it is a dead tissue. It consists of sclerenchymatous tissue. The sclerenchymatous tissues along with the phloem, that is called phloem fibers. These are elongated tissues and gives mechanical support to the plant body. Next one is phloem parenchyma. The parenchyma tissue along with the phloem, it is called phloem parenchyma. These are living tissue because the cells consist of living protoplasm. So it is a living tissue. So the main function of the parenchyma, phloem parenchyma is they can store the food materials. It can store the food material. So the sieve elements, companion cell, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma are the 4 tissues present in the phloem. So these are about the complex tissue. The complex tissues consist of 2 types. They are xylem and phloem. The xylem are the conductive tissue for transporting the water and dissolved minerals from the root to other parts of the plant body. The phloem are helpful for the translocation of food. Xylem consists of 4 types of tissues. They are xylem tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. Phloem consists of 4 types of tissues. They are sieve elements, companion cells, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. Now we can learn about the differences between xylem and phloem. The first difference, the main difference is in xylem the water and the dissolved minerals that can be transported from one place to another, that is from root to other parts of the plant body. So xylem contains water and dissolved minerals. Phloem, it can be translocate the food materials from leaf to other parts of the plant body. Here the movement in xylem, the movement of water is unidirectional. It is unidirectional. In phloem, the movement of food materials is bidirectional. And the conductive elements are xylem tracheids and xylem vessel. In xylem, the conductive tissues are xylem tracheids and xylem vessel. In phloem, the conductive tissue only, that is the sieve element. Third one is the component present in the xylem is xylem tracheids, xylem vessel, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma, and the components present in the phloem tissues are sieve elements, companion cells, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. So now we have learned about the types of plant tissues and all the characteristic features. Now we can learn about the differences between meristematic tissues and permanent tissue. The first difference is the meristematic tissue. The cells consist of dense cytoplasm, large nucleus, and nearly the vacuoles are absent. In the permanent tissue, the cell consists of cytoplasm, large vacuole, and small nucleus is present. Second one is in meristematic tissues, intercellular spaces are absent. In the permanent tissues, intercellular spaces are present. In meristematic tissue, the cell walls are thin and elastic. Here the cell walls are very thick. Here the cells are smaller in size. Here the cells are larger in size. Here the nucleus are prominent and here the nucleus are less conspicuous. And here the function, the meristematic tissue, it gives mechanical support and elasticity. It gives only mechanical support. Here the cell division, when the meristematic tissue, cell division is taken place. Here cell division is not taken place. That is about the differences between meristematic tissues and permanent tissue. So we have learned about the types of plant tissues and their characters and the differences between xylem and phloem and the differences between meristematic tissues and permanent tissues in this chapter. So now you can mark the questions. Take the book and mark. First you can mark the detailed question. Detailed question. So first question, last class you have marked. Second question, write about the elements of xylem. That is in page number 212. Page number 212. The last para you can see the heading xylem. From there to next page up to xylem parenchyma. That is the answer for this question. And next one is, next question, Roman letter 5. Second question, what is complex tissue? Name the various kinds of complex tissue. That is in page number 212. The last before para, you can see the heading, side heading, complex tissue. See in that, the para first two lines. Complex tissues are made of more than one type of cells that work together as a single unit. And the types you can see in the same para, last line. Common examples are xylem and phloem. So that is the answer for this question. So you can learn, these are what are the questions you have marked. You can learn and write. Study very well, students. Thank you.